3.4, dividing polynomials. I do not care what the instructions say today. You are dividing using long division. I think all of them say that, but in case they don't, you are dividing using long division. Okay? No matter what the instructions say, you do what I do in their notes. Got me? Okay. So, divide using long division. The way that you guys, I always tell you just to put a 13 here and we go through it, right? Yeah. But what do you guys normally do? 13 and you got 15, 69. So you do it, and I do it. We better get the same answer, right? Okay, you guys done tired of dividing yet? Okay, 120 and 9/13. Is that what you got? Okay, so I just kept going with decimals, and it's just going to keep going for a long time, right? Where'd the 9 come from? You're not doing this. Okay. This is like fourth grade math. Okay, where'd the 9 come from? The leftover, the remainder, right? Where'd the 13 come over from?
What is divided by?
Okay, this is called the divisor. Yes? This is called the dividend. And the answer is called the
Solution.
quotient. Yeah. Okay, divisor, dividend, quotient. Okay, so we need to do this with polynomials though. So what we did is we took what times 13 gets me close to 15, yes? Yeah. And we need to put a 1. And you do 1 times 13 and you subtract it, yes? Mm-hmm. And then you had 2 and then you brought down the 6 and what times this? So that was 2, so subtracted that, right? That's what you did? So we are going to do the exact same thing with polynomials. So we have the divisor, we have the dividend. So is the divisor in order with no gaps? Is x plus 3 the correct order?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so x plus 3. Is the dividend in order with no gaps? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, 0, right? So then I write it. Okay, so over here, when you said 2, you took 2 times 13 and got 26, yes? Mm-hmm. So you're taking the number you put on the top times what you have over here and subtracting, yes? Okay, so you're going to look at the first term, and you need to get this first term, which is x, to be this first term, which is what? X cubed. X cubed. So what do you multiply x by to get it to be x cubed? So x. No, you have 1. You got to multiply it by x squared. So above the x squared term, write x squared. So now, in order to subtract, we just take the opposite, right? So over here, we're going to multiply this quantity by negative x squared. Will that allow me to to subtract? Yes? Okay, so if I multiply x plus 3 by negative x squared, I get what?
X squared.
Nope. I have x times negative x squared gives me what?
X cubed.
Nope.
Negative x.
Negative x cubed. What next? Minus
3x squared.
3x squared. All I did was multiply my divisor by the number I put on top. Is that the same thing you do over here? Yes? But we just put a negative because it's not a quantity. Here we need to put the negative and distribute through the negative, so we're subtracting. Okay? So now I combine. Well, this first term better be 0 because that was the point of what I was doing, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then I have 5x squared minus 3x squared is what?
2x squared.
2x squared. Now, you bring down as many terms as are in the divisor. So there's 2 terms in the divisor. So I have 1, so I need to bring down how many?
2.
I need 2. I have 1. I bring down 1. So then again, I have to erase. What do I multiply x by to get 2x squared?
2x.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
So plus 2x. So if it's a positive up here, I put a what down here?
Negative.
Negative. Always the opposite sign. Now I'm going to distribute negative 2x through x plus 3. Brandon, you really should be focusing on this.
I am listening.
But you're looking out the window.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have negative 2x times x gives me what?
Negative 2x squared.
Negative 2x squared. I have negative 2x times positive 3. So negative 6x. And just combine, because I already did my subtraction part. So I get 0 and 0. And then plus 9, because that's all you have left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you multiply x by anything and get rid of an x? No. So my remainder is what? 9. So my answer then
Put a little R9.
is x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x plus 9 divided by x plus 3 equals, what's my answer up here?
X squared plus 2x.
X squared plus 2x plus 9 over the divisor, correct? What's the divisor?
X plus 3.
X plus 3. Now, we are not going to write them that way because that's really not useful to me in the grand scheme of things with what I eventually want to do with them. So, anybody not liking that there's a fraction on these?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how would I get rid of the denominator? I would multiply by the reciprocal. So, I multiply both sides by x plus 3. Yes? We're not going to do this every time. You're just going to see how it works, okay? So then these two would reduce over here. So I get x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals, well, when I distribute it to here, it's just going to be x squared plus 2x times x plus 3. I'm not going to multiply it out just because we're dividing. That's factoring, right? Okay. What happens when I distribute it to here? What happens to the x plus 3s? They reduce, and I'm left with what?
9.
So plus 9. Does that look like a better answer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have my quotient. We call it Q of X because it's a quotient.
Oh, that's not that hard.
And I have D of X because it is the divisor. Plus R of X because it's the what? What's R stand for?
I call it the remainder.
It's the remainder.
Oh,
Okay, so it's quotient times the divisor plus the remainder. Can I put divisor times the quotient plus the remainder?
yeah.
It's multiplication. Can it be in any order?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does this look better?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not going to do that math every time. I just wanted to show you why it works.
It's not
Okay?
that hard.
No, it's not that hard. But is it going to take practice doing it? Yeah. Okay, so this is what you had on the screen before, so you don't need to write it. We had the dividend over the divisor equaled the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor, yes?
Mm-hmm.
We multiplied both sides by x plus 3, and we ended with the dividend equals the quotient times the divisor plus the remainder. That's how we are going to write our answers. Dividend times quotient plus the remainder. Every time. Okay? So the things I asked you were, is everything in order and no gaps? Okay? So both the divisor and the dividend have to be in order, and when I mean in order, it has to be descending order. Yes? When I mean no gaps is I can't go from 3 to 1. I have to have a 2 in there. So what's the number I can add and not change a problem? 0. Okay, so the next problem I have is 8x cubed plus 27 divided by 2x plus 3. So, my divisor, is it good? Is it in order and no gaps? Okay, so I have 2x plus 3. Now, is my dividend in order?
Yes.
It's in order, but are there gaps? I got cubed and then I've got x to the 0, basically. Do I got gaps? Yeah. So I'm missing an x squared and an x, aren't I? So I need to add those in. So I have 8x cubed. Now you could say minus, but we don't like subtraction, right? So plus 0x squared plus 0x and then plus 27. Those are placeholders, and they have to be there. Got me? Why does it have to be a 0 in front?
That doesn't
Because
change
you
it.
can't put a 1.
Right, you can't put a 1 because that's adding something in. But 0x squared does not change it, does it? It's the additive identity. So then I go through the process again. What do I multiply 2x by to get 8x cubed?
4.
X.
4
4x squared.
x squared. So it goes above the x squared. So 4x squared. I always do the opposite sign over here. So it's positive 4x squared. So now it's going to be what? Negative. And why do I do the opposite sign? Because I'm going to subtract, right? So if I put it on what I'm multiplying through, it takes care of that subtraction. This is a quantity, so make sure you multiply it by both. So negative 4x squared times 2x gives you what?
8 cubed.
I didn't hear it. Negative 8x cubed. Are your negatives important? Okay.
Minus 12x squared.
Minus 12x squared. And then combine. So your first term says 0 out. That's the whole point of what you're doing. If it doesn't 0 out, excuse me, if it doesn't 0 out, you're not doing it right. Got me? Okay, 0 minus 12 is negative 12x squared. And then I bring down how many?
1.
1, because I need 2 to keep going. If I had 3 in my divisor, I'd bring down whatever made 3. Okay? So then I have negative 12x squared. So what do I multiply 2x by to get negative 12x squared?
Negative 6.
Negative 6x. So then I take the opposite sign because I multiply by negative. So a negative times a negative is a positive. So I'm going to distribute 6x. Do you see I'm writing that over there to keep track of what I'm doing? So distribute it. What do I get?
12x squared plus 18x
And then do what?
combined.
Combine. So I get 0 and then 18x, bring down 27. So now what?
Not times by 9.
Times by 9. Why are you multiplying by 9?
To get 18.
Okay, the 2x to get 18x. Positive or negative?
Negative. Right now,
No. Up here, you put exactly what you want.
9.
9. So plus 9. Off to the side, we're going to multiply by what?
Negative.
-9. Now, guys, you don't have to do the -9, but then you'd have to put parentheses and a negative in front and then remember to distribute it. If you just put it on what you're doing over here, does that make it easier? Yeah. Okay, so I distribute -9 and get what?
Negative 18x minus 7.
Okay, and I get 0. So does that make 2x plus 3 a factor of that whole dividend? Yes. Just like if you had normal numbers, if it goes in there evenly, it's a factor of it, isn't it? So then I have 8x cubed plus 27 equals 2x plus 3, because that's my divisor, times, what's my quotient?
4x squared minus 6x plus 9.
So we can use this to factor things that are a higher degree than 2.
That would be the end.
That'd be the answer. Because there's no remainder. Am I good? Austin, you awake?
Barely. Awesome.
Well, maybe you should try doing one of them. Okay. X cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. Is that all in order? Are there any gaps? No. X squared divided by x squared minus 4x plus 3. Is it in order?
Oh, yeah.
Is there any gaps? No. Okay. So we write it down. Just want to try this one on your own? Okay. Can I start? Cooper, how'd it go?
Good. I got it right.
Sam, did you get it right?
Yep.
Gracie?
Imagine she said no.
Brandon? Did you get stuck?
I'm still working.
Okay. Austin?
I get it.
Okay. Why did this one go quicker?
Because it only had 2 examples.
You only had to, because there's 3 terms in the divisor, I only had to actually divide like 2 steps, right? So the bigger your divisor, if your dividend doesn't get huge, like long, it should go quicker, correct? Okay. Questions before we move on? So what do I need to do? This one just is written differently. So 16x to the 4th minus 85 divided by 4x squared plus 9. So it's just written differently, right? What's your divisor?
4x squared plus 9.
Divisor is what you're dividing by, so it's 4x squared plus 9. Is it in order?
Yes. But no.
It's in order,
They're in order.
but there's gaps, right? So it's going to be 4x squared plus what?
Plus 0x
Plus 9. Okay? So your dividend, is it in order?
It's in order, but it has a gap.
It has lots of gaps, right? So 16x to the 4th plus what?
0x to the
3rd
plus 0x to the squared
Plus.
plus 0x plus, minus 85.
Yeah, I was going to put plus 9 because there's right above me. Minus 85. So does it change how I'm going to do the problem?
No.
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 So do. Okay, did you get 4x squared minus 9 with a remainder of negative 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I keep thinking that 9 times 0 is 9.
Yeah, we got to stop those, and those are just mistakes. We know that it's not right, but we do. Now, when you looked at the original problem, you wanted to say difference of squares, right? Yeah, but that 85 throws us off, doesn't it? Questions, guys?
I got it
What was a little bit different about this one? How many terms did you have to bring down?
2.
You had to bring down 2, didn't you, to make 3? So you just bring down as many as you have. Some teachers I've seen say bring down everything every time. I think that's too much. Just
Yeah.
bring down what you need.
That's what I learned.
Yeah. Because if you watch some videos, they will just bring down everything every time. And to me, that gets too much stuff. We don't do that when we do long division, do we? We just basically look at the next 2 numbers, don't we? Am I good to turn it?
Oh.
Gracie, what'd you do wrong?
I don't know how to explain it. I did
You understand what you did wrong?
kind of. So I brought down the. So I took the negative 4x squared,
Mm-hmm.
and when I times it against the 0x cubed, I decided to put negative 4x squared like I was adding
Okay,
it.
yeah.
And then I added it to the other one too, and then I added it to.
Yeah.
So I kept on adding it after my 16x4.
Right,
And so then when I got it, it was all wrong because I added instead of.
right. And that's one of the things we have to keep straight when we're multiplying and when we're combining.
And then when I did bring down a 9. And then I got so confused because I had
These huge
so many other numbers.
Right.
I
And you,
didn't need them.
yep, because 4 times 0 is 0. Okay, I think that's it for examples. Yep, because this is tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.